Hello, welcome back here in Caden's Weather Center. Right now, today is January 9th, 2025. We're paying attention here to a couple things that we really want to go over here over the next couple of days. Right now, we're going to be having a winter storm that is going to be continuing to push off to the east and impacting the south. As of right now, it's impacting Oklahoma and Texas, and we're going to continue to pay attention to this as it continues through Arkansas, Missouri, and possibly even Tennessee and Kentucky. We're going to keep an eye out on that and give you the latest information on that. But as well, we're going to also be talking about the wildfires that are continuing on in Los Angeles, because that is going to be something that we will be seeing for a couple of days as well, and we've really been paying attention to that over here over the last couple days already, and a lot of winds are continuing to jump up and down, but we're going to give you the latest information on that as well. So let's take a look right now here at the United States, currently the radar right now. We kind of can see some snowfall continuing on in Minnesota all the way through Colorado as well, kind of that big line stretching through the northern United States, and then really big mixed precipitation kind of going through the northern part of Texas here into majority of Oklahoma is getting some type of mixed precipitation or some snow at this time, and then also having these little spotty showers of snow showers kind of going on in the northeast as well here. But then we take a look over here down to the south of our winter storm here. We see that's kind of where our rainfall is going to be. No severe weather threat is going to be impacted or, impacting anyone at this time, which is some great news with this cold front that will be coming down. But once again, as this cold front comes down, we're going to be seeing those temperatures cool down very, very much as we go on throughout the rest of the week here, heading into late this weekend. We're going to be seeing a lot of those temperatures really dipping down here in the southeast, and we'll talk about that here shortly. Let's take a look here at the weather warnings and, the weather hazards as of right now. This is a map by the Storm Prediction Center that we can clearly see right now. We obviously see a lot going on in the central United States. A lot of winter weather, system advisories, weather warnings, winter storm warnings really going to be issued here for you to get prepared for the next couple of days. We're going to be seeing a lot of this over here in the next couple of days. We're going to see these winter storms continue to push over here to the east. Probably is going to be pretty big as we go on throughout, maybe today going into tomorrow. That's when we'll see majority of the biggest snowfall threats, but it will go down a little bit more as it gets over into this eastern part over here. But there you go. So the pink areas, winter storm warnings, Alabama, Mississippi, all of Arkansas here really under a winter storm warning. Same with majority of Oklahoma here, almost under any type of winter weather advisory here, as well as northern to central part of Texas is going through those winter weather advisories as well. Tennessee all under a winter weather winter weather warning, and we're obviously seeing this in western Kentucky as well. So winter storm warnings continuing on in those pink areas, but it's not just the central United States that we're paying attention to. We also have these wildfires that are continuing on down here in Southern California, and those have been continuing on for the last couple of days, which we're going to touch on that pretty soon here. But red flag warnings and high wind warnings are continuing on in some of those areas as those fires are really continuing to just ramp up as we go on throughout the next couple days as well. So let's take a look here at the high temperatures of the United States. We'll start off with the temperatures here. Heading into tomorrow here on Friday, January 10th, we're going to see a big change in the temperatures over here in the northern United States. Kind of warmer than it was a little bit this week here, into the 20s, maybe mid 30s as well as we go on throughout the rest of the week, or into tomorrow, heading into this weekend. But there's that cold front that will be coming down. This will eventually make its way into Florida here. Is expected to warm up a little bit, maybe more down here in Florida as of tomorrow here into Friday. As of right now, Thursday, we've been seeing a little bit of those cooler temperatures, but as of right now, we're going to be seeing a little bit of a big temperature uptick as we head into tomorrow. But then as we head into Saturday this weekend, those temperatures will start to push down over here to the south and really start to bring those temperatures once again down in the Florida Peninsula there. Temperatures still kind of in the mid 60s to the upper 60s, lower 70s here in Southern California. Same with Arizona, into the mid 60s, maybe even into the upper 50s. But then majority of the northern United States still up into those 30s and then the 20s as well, as these cold fronts will continue to come down. North Dakota getting into the negatives here on Monday. So this is going to be Monday, January 13th. We can see those cool temperatures really starting to drop maybe a little bit more here. You kind of can see that 17 degrees here in Iowa, getting into the negatives here in North Dakota, parts of northern Minnesota, as they have been getting a lot of cold temperatures here over the past week or two. We've been seeing a lot of that. And as we head into Tuesday, January 14th, here are the high temperatures. We can obviously kind of see big weather patterns continuing on. The majority of that colder weather will be pushing over here to the east, so a little bit of that pattern we'll be seeing over here over the next couple of days as well. And the southeast and Texas really dipping down into the 50s, maybe even the upper 40s. Now low temperatures, a whole different scenario here. Let's head into low temperatures here for tomorrow night. We can definitely see even into northern Florida here and parts of the southeast reaching into the upper 20s, maybe even into the lower 20s, but into Florida the lower 30s in some of these northern parts of the Florida Peninsula. But we can continue to see that over here throughout the next couple of days as we're seeing these cold fronts going to continue to come down here. But you can definitely see over here kind of in the mountain region right here, 0 degrees as the low in parts of Wyoming. And 10 degrees here, 12 degrees, 7. Some areas getting into the single digits here in Colorado for those low temperatures here. Same with California, getting into those 40s. So, you know, some areas, majority of the United States will be staying in those 2-digit numbers, but some of the parts of the United States will not stay in those 2-digit numbers. And you kind of can see that here, for Sunday, really those temperatures start to drop here in the negatives right now in North Dakota. And that's when we really start to see these temperatures really start to just get very cold here at nighttime here in the upper 20s, even dipping down into really South Texas here into the 30s, maybe even the upper 20s as well. And then we'll see a big cold blast kind of come from the northern part of the United States heading in from Canada, where the lows could possibly reach in North Dakota and Minnesota here, and possibly even into Wisconsin and Michigan. We could be seeing into the negatives here for those low temperatures at nighttime. So something to be paying attention to as we go on throughout the week, or the next couple of days, and then heading into early next week as well. Let's continue talking about that snowstorm that we're going to be anticipating here. This is, how much snowfall inches that we could be expecting here in Texas, going through Oklahoma as well as Arkansas. You can see here in the next 24 hours, really overnight, in the overnight hours, we're really going to start to see some of those totals ramp up here. 7 inches, 6 inches here in just about 12 hours. That's when we're going to be seeing the biggest snowfall potential, and really will start to drop. And then you kind of can see, so heading from 12 to 18 hours out, so 12 hours, 4 inches there in parts of eastern Oklahoma, as you already have some snowfall and mixed precipitation going on as of right now. This will push itself over here to the east, head into 18 hours. That's when we're starting to see the 7 inches. It will go down a little bit there, as obviously this winter storm does push off to the east here, and you kind of can see this on this map here. We kind of can see that it will head into Tennessee. Once again, not a massive snowstorm where it's dumping inches and feet of snowfall, but still definitely a winter storm to pay attention to, because it's going to make difficulty for driving. Ice could be a big issue here for the next couple of days as this continues to move off to the east. So if you live in Arkansas, Tennessee, and maybe even parts of southern and central Kentucky, you guys could be dealing with some icy conditions here as we go on throughout this winter storm, where it could be having some pretty impossible time for driving here, as we've already saw that with the last system that we had with the snowfall. We had a lot of ice that kind of happened more in this southern area right here. A lot of ice problems right in that region. Same with the mixed precipitation as well. Let's take a look here at the HRR, the HRRR model. Kind of gives us an update on what we're going to be anticipating right now here in about the next hour, according to this video. Right now, this HRR model, the 12Z model here, snowfall continuing on in Oklahoma, northern Texas, possibly getting into that mixed precipitation as well, maybe some icy conditions at times, and then a lot of that rainfall continuing on in eastern Texas, and maybe even heading into Louisiana as well. Then we take a look here as it continues to move off. That rainfall will really start to ramp up here in eastern Texas. That could bring some possible flash flooding. And then same thing with Louisiana. We'll be having those downpours as well, could possibly lead to possible flash flooding. But that snowfall does start to move its way into Missouri, parts of maybe even Kansas and Arkansas, with that mixed precipitation kind of, hanging out obviously in the middle as it's mixing with the rain. That will head into early tonight, and then, really as we head into the overnight hours around 2 a.m., we can really see that snowfall kind of happen more on the northern part of this rainfall threat here, heading into Arkansas here, Missouri, Oklahoma, still getting some of that snowfall. And that's when we're going to start to see the snowfall totals really start to ramp up here in the next 24 hours out here. We'll start to see those snowfall totals really start to ramp up, but this will be an overnight big issue here. The pink area, some mixed precipitation, possibly icy conditions in some areas, but then the more of the heaviest rain right now, according to this model run, will stay off into the Gulf of Mexico and will not be causing any big issues for land. But then there goes that snowfall continuing on. We'll go through Kentucky, go through Tennessee as well. But, even the heaviest rainfall will also be going into Mississippi and Alabama, and this will just continue to push off to the east here. And by January 11th, we're expecting this storm to be completely gone, as the cold front will bring those cooler temperatures really into the central part of the United States and the southern part of the United States as well. And by January 11th, we could be seeing some rainfall here in the Florida Peninsula, as that cold front will be making its way into the Florida Peninsula. But by January 11th, the snowfall and the rainfall really should start to be dying down here pretty soon in the next couple of days. So this will be a pretty fast moving winter storm here, but obviously it's time to be prepared just in case. The good news is this isn't as bad as the last storm, but definitely something to be paying attention to, because we could still be seeing 7 inches of snow. Well, let's take a look here at the fire weather. What are we looking at right now? This is a major issue that is continuing on in California here. You can see that here from the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service. Critical conditions right now, stretching really from all the way from Los Angeles here, going all the way down here into parts of eastern San Diego as well. And that's going to be bringing a lot of smoke in this area as well. And that's just one of our biggest concerns right now. The air quality alerts will continue to just go off, and we're going to be paying attention to that. So definitely, if you're outside and you're seeing a lot of smoke, make sure to wear a mask or something, or cut off the air vents into your house or these buildings or businesses, because this is going to be a pretty dangerous situation when it comes to the smoke. I mean, there's a lot of thick smoke going through Los Angeles, hard to see driving, but also Los Angeles just really getting hammered by these fires that are just unbelievable here. I've seen a lot of videos on these, and this is just very, very scary of a situation here. So if you're living in LA or anything in California that is being impacted by these wildfires, make sure to be keeping an eye out on what your local authorities are saying, because you definitely need to evacuate if they tell you to. This is not going to be a joke. This isn't really going to be a choice if you can stay or not. This is a major thing here with fires have burned many buildings already, as it continues to really just start to ramp up. Keeps going up and down here over the last couple of days. Really, the good news is the winds aren't as strong as it was the other day, but we're still seeing some pretty strong winds to still carry those fires as well. But you can obviously see here, area population, 8 million people are in this critical condition here. Riverside, California, Glendale, California, San Bernardino, California, Irvine, California, and Oxnard, California right now is in that critical condition right now. As we head into tomorrow, expecting a possibility for elevated here. Elevated conditions here, so maybe not as critical, but we'll definitely see as we head into tomorrow. It depends on how bad the wildfires start continuing on throughout the overnight hours as well. If it continues to get worse, I would not be surprised to see this kind of go up into the critical area here. But really, I mean, this is just getting very intense very quickly here, and we want to pay attention to that right now. Let's take a look here at the wildfires that are currently happening here. This is on fire.ca.gov here. This kind of gives us an outlook on where the fires are and all the names of the fires as well. So let's take a look right now. Here we go all the way here. If you're curious and you're just hearing about these fires, this is Los Angeles right here, the second most populated city here in the United States. So really impacting a lot of people right now. If we take a look, let's zoom in a little bit here. So we have several fires that are continuing on. Sunset Fire was the most recent one last night. That was Sunset Fire right over here near Beverly Hills. So very, very expensive, rich neighborhoods going through that area right now with the fire. That's burned 42.8 acres right there. The Eaton Fire, 10,600 acres right now, has continued to grow in size, especially as that one is 0% contained. Same with this fire down here off to the south. I don't exactly know how to say it. Palisades, something like that. But you can definitely see 17,000 acres have been really continuing to ramp up, and that's continuing to make its way as well. So let's take a look at this really quickly here. So if we zoom in right now here to the city, lots of buildings and houses that you can obviously see. The Sunset Fire here, let's take a look at that. This has this hasn't been updated here in a little bit, but Waddles Garden Park has been really getting just under all that fire as well. But you can definitely see, as this formed last night, this is headed right down to the south right now, and this could possibly be heading for Hollywood Boulevard if it hasn't already impacted Hollywood Boulevard. But look at all these buildings that are in the path of this. Then you head over here to the Eaton Fire. You can clearly see lots of fires now going to be heading in. Look at this. I mean, you see a lot of these buildings right here. Neighborhoods have been completely burned right now, but in total 29,000 acres have been burned from all these fires combined. But this is heading into the suburbs of Los Angeles, so obviously a lot of people are going to be dealing with this. So make sure if you're being told to evacuate right now. Taking a look at this though, this is a video here. This is a video from Colin Rugg here. You can clearly kind of see here if we take a look at this video. So from Colin Rugg here on this video, just neighborhoods being completely flattened with the, as these not these storms, but as fire just continues to go on, these wildfires continue to move with the winds being pretty intense still, but you can definitely see a lot of that smoke continuing on as well. So really, I mean, this is just tragic, and I've never seen anything like this before. So make sure if you do live in these areas that are being told to evacuate immediately. This is just, a massive thing. There's over 100,000 people that have been told under evacuation order. So this is just a major, big thing. And, we're expecting this to continue on throughout maybe the next couple of days as well. So really a lot to be paying attention to if you live in California, especially if you live in Los Angeles. So thank you so much for watching this video though here on Cadence Weather Center. If you do have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the comments down below, but also follow my X page down for in the description for more latest updates here on the fire weather that is going on right now, and then any other weather that will be going on. But make sure to also subscribe if you do like weather content and you kind of like watching these videos. Just leave a subscribe, maybe leave a like and all that on the video here. But I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Please stay safe if you live in California. I am praying for each one of you guys in California that are dealing with these impacted, and you're being impacted by these fires. So please be making sure you're staying tuned obviously to your local authorities, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.